What's going on, everyone? So we all know that YouTube has been in a lot of shit right now. There's a lot of hysteria going on, the ad apocalypse, so many things happening. People are very angry at YouTube, even to the point where some people are taking legal action. And before I get into a lot of that stuff, especially about shadow banning and implementing it on their platform, I want to try to explain why I think their YouTube is changing so much and what it means, what's their end game.
Supreme victory!
A lot of people may not know this, but YouTube is technically not turning a profit. Now, they've grossed a lot of money, and it even shows, like, say, one of the latest reports in 2015, they're estimated to have grossed about $9 billion in that year, which is a ton of money. But then when you also think about things like the partner, the ad revenue split, the 45 to 55% split, so you already have from that $9 billion a $5 billion that's already going to the content creators. You also have investments that they're doing with different programs and stuff like that. You have paying their employees, you have server maintenance, all these different things. At the end of the day, they're not really making the type of money that they want, but they're building towards it. Obviously, that's why they have things like their new programs like the YouTube TV thing. You know, that type of service that they want to move towards, because that's probably going to help maximize their profits. And it's being estimated that, say, in 2020, that YouTube will probably be making about 20 billion, which in that sense, if you're making 20 billion, then they'll probably be making a nice, very lucrative profit. So with the ad apocalypse, and for people that don't remember what the ad apocalypse is, when the Wall Street Journal started writing some hit pieces about YouTube and companies' ads being run along extremist content, you know, even though it's probably like a very small fraction, a very tiny fraction of what's on YouTube, you know, idiots just uploading stupid stuff and then people just trying to have gotcha moments. All the companies, a lot of companies like Pepsi and whatnot, they pulled their ads from YouTube, and it cost them, like, it was like $700 million in like ad revenue, like, so closer to $1 billion. And obviously YouTube doesn't like that, Google doesn't like that, obviously the ad companies don't like that either, because they're investing for a reason. So it seems like, along with YouTube trying to fix everything, that, you know, and try to move more towards the streaming, the TV services, the ad companies want YouTube to clean up its act, and then they'll come back. And that really seems like what's going on. YouTube has tried a lot of different things. You know, they did the YouTube Heroes. They were having people trying to just take it upon themselves to flag people, be the hero and flag extremist content. And I use, you know, extremists in a very loose term, because that's how they use it. And obviously that wasn't good, and people could abuse the systems with mass flagging. We've seen stuff like that happen. We've seen Tariq Nasheed go after people. We've seen a lot of this stuff, but now it seems like what they're doing, and their solution is an AI bot to just really clamp down on all the BS that they don't want on the platform. And that's the biggest problem. This is going to be a huge problem moving forward. Google has pledged to continue developing advanced programs using machine learning to combat the rise of extremist content, after it found that it was both faster and more accurate than humans in scrubbing illicit content from YouTube. The company is using machine learning along with its human reviews as a multi-pronged approach to tackle the spread of extremist and controversial videos across YouTube, which also includes tougher standards for the videos and the recruitment of more experts to flag content in need of review. So it seems like there's just going to be a more narrow space of what's considered, you know, good content. So obviously a lot of people that do political commentary are going to be in trouble. And I'm going to explain why this is going to affect people on both sides in a second, but I want to continue to read this. One of the problems YouTube has in policing its site for illicit content is that its users upload 400 hours of content every minute, making filtering out extremist content in real time an enormous challenge that only an algorithmic approach is likely to manage, the company says. Now look, I understand, you know, with YouTube being such a large platform with like over 1 billion users, people, there's a lot of people on there, there's going to be a lot of trash. So I totally understand that they want to implement an AI to try to get some of the horrible stuff on there. I think there's, you know, a lot of big things. There's like, you know, CP, you know, the pedophiles. There's a lot of things that should be taken off there. But what's happening is we're not seeing like a lot of this disgusting content being brought out in light. It's things that are controversial, talking about political opinions and having a certain ideology that you may not agree with, or say a lot of people in the social justice warrior progressive spirit may not agree with. And that's the biggest problem that I have with this. It's not that they have the AI, because I'm like, I understand that there's an AI. It's like, what is the AI going after? And I think there's a lot more important issues that they can be tackling, and they probably will, but it's not like it's the main concern. You know, the main concern is wrong thing, what it seems like. And the thing that I want to bring up is that obviously it's going to be targeting a lot more people on the right, like more conservatives and people like, say, the alt-right and whatnot. but people that are also going to be talking about this stuff are probably going to be targeted too, whether you agree or disagree with it. So SJWs that probably don't like people on the right, you mention certain names, certain things, the AI is probably going to pick up on it, and boom, you know, you've been brought into an algorithm and you've been taken down. And to support why I said that they're going to be going after conservatives more is you got to see the companies that they're going to be working with, and then it really explains what's happening. YouTube also said that it had begun working with 15 more NGOs and institutions, including the Anti-Defamation League, the No Hate Speech Movement, and the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, in an effort to improve the system's understanding of issues around hate speech, radicalization, and terrorism to a better deal with objectionable content. Hate speech and objectionable content. Like the other ones, you see that they're probably talking about terrorism, right? Like specifically Islamic terrorism. But when you hear things about hate speech, we already know that certain things on my channel are considered hate speech to people like this, and especially to some of these organizations. So it lets you know that, yeah, this is pretty serious. Like, and what they're going to be doing is they're going to be shadow banning people, and it's not going to be good, guys. Google will begin enforcing tougher standards on videos that could be deemed objectionable but are not illegal in the coming weeks. The company said that YouTube videos flagged as inappropriate that contain controversial religious or supremacist content but that do not breach the company's policies on hate speech or violent extremism will be placed in a limited state. Limited state. Essentially, it's going to be in purgatory, what we call shadow banning. Now, Twitter and Facebook and other platforms have already been practicing shadow banning. You know, you're basically screaming into the void, you're typing stuff, and then you're wondering, how come my stuff isn't getting any traffic? How come nobody's liking my tweets or my post or whatever it is? And then it's because of that, essentially, because you've been placed in purgatory. And now YouTube wants to implement that because because these companies want a safer YouTube, and YouTube also wants a safer YouTube because moving forward they want to maximize their profits, and this is the best way to do it, because then people like the Wall Street Journal that are trying to write hit pieces and trying to take down some of the new media, you know, they won't have to worry about that anymore because all that stuff has been scrubbed off of the platform. And it's just like, god damn, man. You know, it was one thing to just demonetize people, to try to get people to stop talking, but obviously people can keep talking and going on other platforms for monetary gains, like say Patreon or something. But this is totally different. This is just shadow banning things that are just not even against the terms of service, that aren't even technically considered hate speech. It's just things that are unfavorable. Essentially, it's unfavorable, and it's like this is pretty bad. Now, I'm not going to jump the gun, because it hasn't been implemented yet. In the coming weeks, it says. But just hearing what they're saying and what we've seen happen with the adpocalypse and other stuff, how people have been just completely destroyed monetarily, yeah, this can be extremely bad. So I would say people look out for this stuff. If you see this type of stuff happening, definitely let it be known. And I think the only way we can really combat this is by I don't even know. Honestly, I was gonna say if everybody kind of rallies together, but you know, other people have suggested going onto other platforms, and I know that sounds just terrible. It sounds like such a, oh, it's almost like starting over, and, you know, with things like say Vimeo or VidMe or Mind or something like that. But at this point, yeah, maybe you also do want to give that a try. Maybe you actually do want to give that a try to get on other platforms. As I started seeing this stuff happening and this stuff started rolling out, I made a VidMe, and I've neglected the hell out of it, but I've seen a lot of people started following me because I think people are starting to look for alternatives, and hey, why not? So in a nutshell, this fucking blows, right? And a lot of people might be in trouble. People are already in trouble, like I said, monetarily, but this might just have their content just completely silenced altogether, which just sucks. You know, like they can't even say make money from another platform and still put their stuff on YouTube for everybody to view. It might just get fucking shadow banned, which is just crazy to think about. But yeah, you know, in this climate, in this political climate, and how we've seen things go, I guess it's not that surprising. We've already seen how shitty some of these companies are being and how biased they've been. So You know, yay. What do you guys think about this, though? Let me know in the comment section. I definitely want to see what you guys have to think about this. If you think that, you know, this is going to be blown out of proportion, or do you think just YouTube is totally fucked, and within a few years it's just going to be straight up YouTube TV, and people like us, people that just, you know, like to speak their minds, are going to be completely gone. But yeah, let me know. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video, and I want to give a big shout out to my super sexy patrons, and those people are Mark, Stark, Brett, Chris, Adam, Catherine, Jacob, Serthia, Jennifer, Kathleen, James, and Troy. You guys are the absolute best. You guys have helped me out a lot, and all the other patrons helped me out a lot too, and I appreciate it. If you guys want to be a patron of mine, you can check out the link in the description. And I also know that a lot of people are boycotting Patreon right now, and I just want to let you know that it is totally okay. I've gotten a few messages of people said they had to pull their support, and I totally understand if you don't want to support the platform anymore because of what happened with Lauren Southern and whatnot. But for the people that are still here, I appreciate you guys, and that's pretty much it. Everybody, thank you again, and you all have a wonderful day.